So, James Harden's debut at the Wells Fargo Center was nothing short of spectacular. The Sixers take down the Knicks once again and are now 3-0 with James Harden. We will break it all down. Let's go.
Perfect.
What another great win by this Sixers team, man. Once again, coming together, the trio, the new great trio, all balling out once again. Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, James Harden having a night. And, man, there's something to be said about it because, you know, all season the Sixers played up to competition and they played down to competition. And now, you know, the Sixers are once again taking care of a bad team. You know, I knew a few days ago, and I said on the last video, that the Sixers would struggle with the Knicks in the first game, being a weird 1 p.m. Sunday game, right? And then they ended up getting it done late in the game. And tonight, you know, I thought that the Sixers were going to blow the doors off the Knicks, and it did not look as expected. It didn't come out as pretty to start. You know, there were a lot of nerves. There was a big high for the James Harden debut, but the Sixers end up coming together, and once again, it was easy down the stretch. And I'm telling you, we have to break out of this habit, and for once, I know it's tough being a Philly fan, but we have to just realize, even if this team goes down, 10 points, 12 points, they can come back. They can flip the switch just like that because this team is very, very lethal, and man, did they do it once again tonight. Welcome on into Philly Take with RB. I am RB. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the content and help us continue to grow, man. The Sixers get a big dub once again against the New York Knicks before we go on this tough 4-game stretch. The Sixers take down the Knicks 123-108. James Harden's debut at the Wells Fargo Center. And, of course, the energy was absolutely insane. Fans showing them love. I just listened to all the post-game press conferences. James Harden was great, man. He said, you know, hearing people say, I love you, James, and we have your back and this and that. And he just talked so highly about himself and Joel Embiid, that pairing, and Tyrese Maxey and all the great players we have on this team and the great city. He said it feels like home. It was just everything you want to hear. And we'll actually get to something later on that he said about Tyrese Maxey, which I really, really enjoyed, showing his leadership. Here's James Harden after the game. Obviously, all the guys had to show up for his first appearance. It was one of the most anticipated openers at home in Philly in a long time. Like, everybody was on the edge of their seat. And, of course, Meek Mill has to show up, right? James's boy. Let me tell you something. The club is going to be lit tonight after that win. James, Meek, who knows, little baby. It doesn't matter, man. The club is going to be lit. And shout out to James, man, for another great game. Honestly, all I have to say is if you are one of those people saying that he's washed and you can't come around to yourself to admit that he's not, and you still want to create these narratives at this point, honestly, you're just point blank a hater. That's what you are. James Harden once again balls out for this team, and it looked so easy. It really, really did. How about a cool James Harden stat from tonight being his third game? He already clinched averaging 25 points and 10 assists throughout his first 3 games as a Sixer. He also did it with the Nets. And the last player before that to average 25 and 10 through their first 3 games with a new team, guess who it was? Allen Iverson, who, by the way, gave James a lot of props and praise earlier today. He told him he was going to play in front of the best fans tonight, and it was the truth. Now, tonight was an absolutely great game. Joel Embiid with 27, 12, and 4, a steal, 2 blocks. He started off really slow. He started off really bad, awful in the first half, and what did I say? Joel Embiid was going to come out in the second half with a vengeance. Why? Because he's done that multiple times this year. That is why he's the MVP. He can turn the switch just like that, and he knew he was not playing up to par at halftime. He came right out, started catching the ball lower, started getting down and dirty in the post, going to the line, 11 for 13 from the line tonight, and then he was just unstoppable. That is what happens when you have Joel Embiid. And, you know, he just took it upon himself. He realized, right, and he was just so great. He had 2 monster blocks, another one on Alec Burks, just like he did last game. Just really got the whole crowd into it, right? Tyrese Maxey with 25 points tonight, 7 for 12 from the field, 7 for 8 from the line, 4 for 6 from deep. This kid continues to improve. The fact that he is 21 years old is mind-blowing. He is maturing faster than anybody could have ever thought in their right mind. He also contributed 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and, just cheesing all over the court. Just so happy. He's, aggressive, tenacious. He's all over these guys. Even on defense, he's showing that energy level, man. Tyrese Maxey is something else. He has star written all over his forehead. And honestly, I did not think it would mesh and really come together this fast, but Tyrese Maxey has been sensational, and the only thing we wanted him to improve on from last year was really his shot making, right, from deep, and he is just taking it to another level, and now he's hitting these step backs off the dribble. He's being, such a smart player. I mean, you just see the growth in Tyrese Maxey, and how about it, man? The addition of another great point guard with a lot of IQ has had the biggest impact on his game. The guy that has been impacted most by James Harden is Tyrese Maxey by a mile. He is feasting over these last 3 games. And speaking of James Harden, 26 points tonight, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Almost had another triple-double, but very, very close. 8 for 13 from the field, 2 for 6 from deep, 8 for 10 from the free throw line. And James Harden, man, I mean, he kept us afloat once again while our team was struggling, right? If this was earlier in the season when we didn't have James Harden, this team would have been down 20 points at halftime. They were playing that bad. Harden kept us afloat, kept getting us to the rack when we needed to. It was crazy because after the game, he said something that really stuck with me. He said, I've been telling Joel, like, I'm going to get you some on some possessions, right? You need to take some possessions off. Just take a breather, whatever. I can go get those for you, make your life so much easier. It's just the way he talks, talking about, playing as a team, becoming just a great duo, and just really the sacrifices, right, of contribution, and just saying, like, I'm here to help you in, whatever way you need. You can help me. We can complement each other, and I can help you on some possessions. It was great, man. It really was great. And how about this? Over the first 3 games of this new era, honestly, we're not even the great duo anymore. We might be one of the best trios in the NBA already, because Tyrese Maxey has solidified himself as a number 3 option. And Tobias Harris tonight had 14 points on 5 for 10. He was really struggling again. Came on late in the game, and honestly, I was satisfied with Toby. Give me 14 and 7, right? Only take 10 shot attempts. I'm telling you, only take 10 shot attempts a night. Give us 15 at this point. You are the number 4 option. You need to come to your senses and become comfortable with that role, because Tyrese is just taking it by storm. Tyrese is the solidified 3rd option on this team. Tobias is the 4th. And, I was happy based off what he gave us later on in the game, and again, he's just got to be more decisive with the basketball. James harps on that. But yeah, the big 3, look at these numbers, man. 32 points a game for Embiid, 27 Harden, 24 for Maxey. And, just the numbers are absolutely insane. Maxey shooting 64% from 3 over the last 3 games. Harden at 50, Embiid 38.5. These guys are meshing like anything right now. And honestly, I don't think anybody saw it coming together this quickly. But man, like I always say, you have to pick and choose. How do you stop that? How? You just don't. You just don't, man. You just don't. And here was my favorite thing from the night, actually, which came up in the post-game presser. Tyrese Maxey was struggling at halftime, was not being aggressive, just like Tobias Harris. And James Harden went up to him and said, yo, are you playing today? Pretty much saying, yo, get on your horse, be aggressive. Just like we saw in that Bucks game, James Harden got that out of Tyrese Maxey. It's crazy. Harden is like a player coach, and he kicked Maxey into gear, and that just shows so much leadership as a player on this team. Tyrese had 4 in the first half. He had 21 in the second half. He just kicked it into gear. He needed that kick, and James Harden gave it to him again. And Maxey came out, and he's hitting these crazy shots. In fact, look at this play, man. Unbelievable. Maxey, and shout out to Doc Rivers as well. He made some adjustments in the second half, started to go to some more plays. I felt like we were playing a lot of ISO. We were slow. The energy level wasn't there. Really kicked in the second half. And also we had this crazy bench lineup, and Doc went away from it. So good adjustments by Doc Rivers. But look, man, we're going to set a double screen, and Maxey is going to come around. Just gives him enough time to get past his boy Emmanuel quickly. And then look at the separation on the step back. You got Harden that can do a step back. You got Embiid that can do a step back. And you got Maxey that can do the step back. It's unreal. Maxey's doing this at age 21. The league should be terrified. of these three. I'm telling you. And look at it. And hits the shot. And the jump shot just looks so pure, man. It looks so pure. It's unbelievable, man. What a great night. Even Thibault contributing 10. He's averaging 8 to 10 over the first 3 games of Harden. Harden, like I said, is the circuit board. He connects everybody, makes everybody better. It's sensational. The bench only gave us 15 points tonight in crunch time. And, Niang had a couple big energy plays. Danny Green had a couple threes. The bench has to be better. And honestly, that is our one weakness. Our bench right now, also our rebounding, we need to be better on the glass. And I hope that we can continue to do that because we'll need it for the playoffs. And really, these are the guys we have to pick from and rock with. So we'll see what happens, man. But other than that, we just have to rebound. Our energy level was not there. I feel like the crowd was really, really hype at first, and then we kind of settled down, got into it, started playing ball. Sixers go and they score, 38 points in the third quarter. They go and score 30 in the fourth quarter, and they just start locking up the Knicks. They started to lock up Julius Randle, who looked like, he couldn't really miss a shot in the first half, and Barrett had a lot of points, and they were just rocking and rolling, man. And the Knicks, they surprised me. They came out in the first half, and they were doing their thing, and the Sixers just answered right back in the second half. And as soon as we went to halftime down 7 after playing an awful first half, like one of the worst first halves that you could have played, Sixers were only down by 7 points. They cut it right before half. They come out in the second half with a different intensity level. Embiid goes right away with an and one and then a 3. The Sixers go on a 24-7 run, and they never, ever look back. Other than the rebounding issue, which I still think, we need to improve on. We need to get some more athleticism in there. I don't know how it needs to happen, but we need to do that. Embiid even has to be better on the rebounds. Honestly, even though he had 12 rebounds a night, Joel Embiid is just such a natural rebounder that, if Embiid actually tried to get rebounds, he could probably get, 15 a night, 20 a night, honestly. But hey, I'm not going to pick at that right now. Other than that, though, the other main issue, again, which I referenced earlier, is this bench lineup, right? And, man, we got to figure this out because Doc Rivers has actually done a really good job with the lineup since James Harden has come. He's staggered. He's getting minutes here and there. He's always keeping 2 of the 4 in. But the only thing is we cannot continue to go to this Danny Green Furkan lineup. It just will not work. We cannot do it. I'm sorry. The bid is out on Furkan Korkmaz. I mean, look, he's a nice guy. It's just not going to work. He's shooting, 28% for the entire season. He looked good for about 7 games earlier at the beginning of the season and just has not been it since. I don't know why he continues to get minutes. Now, Doc Rivers made a really good adjustment tonight, and he finally did it. He played him 5 minutes in the first. That lineup was not good at all, and then he didn't play him in the second half, right? He went with Shake Milton, and Shake Milton had a couple nice aggressive buckets under the rim, and he gave you 6 points. And Shake needs to get his feet under him and be aggressive. We will need the production from guys like Shake because at this point, we got to pick and choose. Now, Isaiah Joe, he just will not get run, I guess, because he's too young or inexperienced or whatever. I've given up on it. I want to see Isaiah Joe, and I don't see the point in not trying him. Would it hurt at this point? No, you should be doing that, but Doc Rivers doesn't seem to do it. Shake Milton seems to be the guy, and he needs to get going. But hey, Doc adjusted in the second half, and hopefully he will continue to do so. We're going to need more production. And honestly, I want to see some Willie Cauley-Stein. We saw him for 1 minute in garbage time. Millsap really couldn't do much as a small ball center. Just doesn't look too quick or athletic, so we definitely need to get that worked out. Hopefully DeAndre Jordan comes in soon. Maybe he gets a bit at it. Who knows? I think Doc Rivers will give a few different chances here, but we cannot go small ball center for the backup in the playoffs, in my opinion. But we'll end it off with this. Embiid at the press conference says, I've been through a lot, whether you talk about GMs using burner accounts, talking trash, this, and that. A lot of great quotes from Embiid at the presser tonight. Overall, everybody's happy. The tune has changed. Philadelphia's happy. The building was rocking. The entire city is electric and on fire. 3-0 now for the Sixers under Harden and Embiid and Maxey, honestly, the trio. And now we got 4 tough games. The Bulls, the Cavs, the Heat, the Nets, not in any order there. We got to go out and win 3 of them. 3 out of 4 are at home. I think we will win 3 of them. And everybody might start to change their tune about this team, or maybe not. But who cares, man? This team is rocking and rolling. They got something special going right now. Give me all your thoughts down below in the comment section. Appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And like always, I will catch you on the next one, man. Peace.
Perfect.